What's going on, ChavezzSlovakia? I just dropped the other memory card behind the desk, and my desk is like, I don't know, 120 pounds, which isn't heavy, but it's heavy for carpet.
And who's gonna have to move it?
Oh, that's right. My wife's gonna get it for me.
Yeah.
You can see she's strong now, though. She's wearing my grandfather's t-shirt. He's a large man.
It's so big.
So here we go. Did you see the plug I did for Anthony's music?
No, you did a plug for Ferris's music?
How many names are we gonna use? Too many names. Are you ready?
Yeah.
Check it out. Dramatic pause. Dim the lights. I came out too strong. I gotta mellow out. Yeah. That's it. Fix it, man. Yeah. That's good. Oh, man, I like that. Whoa, stop, pause, stop that. Listen, Czechoslovakia, I just planned to play that back with no audio. That sounds dirty. It sounds like not like what it was. Shouts out to Lord Ferris. It's supposed to be a Lord Ferris shout out. Let's focus on Lord Ferris shout out. You know, he's on TikTok, makes music for the channel. That's the focus it is. Not how it sounded and looked like I was getting, you know, but it wasn't the point. That was not what I was. All right, start the video. Shout out to Lord Ferris making music for the channel.
That's a good promo.
Thanks. Anyways, ZeFrank elephants. Remember, they don't forget. If you piss in their cereal, they will piss back. So let's get into it.
Did you say that?
They probably would. I don't have like statistics on it, but I feel like it's pretty true.
Okay.
Prove me wrong. You can't. Here we go.
This right here, what looks like a
putting my drink down.
grape with a sinus infection, is actually a baby elephant, just about ready to, well, be dropped from 5 feet. And start things off with a bang to the head. It's an exciting event for everyone. The whole herd gathers around and celebrates.
Yeah.
It's quite cute and loud, but they should celebrate. That baby's been up in there for almost 2 years, so when it comes out, it's fairly well baked. It takes a minute or two to get used to its new surroundings. I mean, it's not in Kansas anymore. You know, if Kansas were a mucus-filled placental sac inside the uterus of an elephant. But in no time at all, this baby is standing up on its own. First things first, it's guided to the nipples. We should all be so lucky. And there they are. Could benefit from a dab of lotion by the looks of it. For the next 3 to 4 years, the baby will nurse in its mother's care, supported by the other females in the herd. Sometimes it takes a village. These elephant babies can sometimes be a handful. Look at this one, it's throwing an all-out tantrum. Probably just passed by a Chuck E. Cheese. That demon robotic mouse that calls to children.
That reminds me. One time when I was younger, I was hanging out with a friend.
It's going to be sad, isn't it?
No, it's not.
Shit. Okay, I'm ready.
So I was hanging out with a friend, right? And we were getting ready to leave. Me and the girl did not want to separate. So her dad was like, I'll take you to Mickey D's. Her dad tells her, I'll take you to Mickey D's. So I tell my mom, I'm going to go to Mickey D's.
Right.
My mom was like, okay, we'll go to McDonald's. And I throw a fit.
Okay.
I throw a fit because I don't want to go to McDonald's.
You want to go to Mickey D's?
I want to go to Mickey D's.
Oh, Jesus Christ. I bet oh my Lord. I bet your mom was on the brink of insanity.
She was like, I just told you we're going to go to McDonald's.
And you're like, oh, you're making it worse.
I want to go to McDonald's. I want Mickey D.
You're just the worst. Just the fucking worst. And she's just like, I thought we were on the same page here.
So there's just proof that semantics have always been a part of my life.
It's okay, baby. Did she tell you that Mickey D's is McDonald's?
I think eventually I just calmed down and she took me to McDonald's and I think I was like, this is better than Mickey D's. And my mom was like,
you son of a bitch.
Okay.
I'm gonna murder somebody.
But it's a good thing that there's some time for the baby to learn how to elephant. You gotta get your feet right. But there's more subtle things like caring for your skin. Elephants have quite the beauty regimen. Luckily, they use foundation and powders that are quite cheap and readily available. Throw a bit of dirt on the back, maybe a mud bath. It's worth it because, listen, this is no ordinary skin. Now, up close, it doesn't seem like their routine is addressing the wrinkles. But in this case, the wrinkling is on purpose. Elephant skin doesn't just have wrinkles, there's wrinkles on the wrinkles. And the closer you look, the more you find. Unlike our skin, which flakes off when it dies, elephant skin sticks around and forms thicker and thicker layers as they age. And this wrinkled mess can do some magic tricks. Look at that. It's amazing. It's like a giant elephant-shaped sponge.
Whoa!
And having skin that can hold on to water like that is very important.
That is really creepy. What a horrific thing to see in real time.
Yeah, I don't really care for it.
I hate seeing that. I hated that.
The part where he was like peeling the pieces of skin off, that was
horrific.
Gross.
It was terrible.
It was really bad.
They cut out the little cute cube, and I was like, oh, what's that? I was like, oh, it's skin.
Where did you get that? That's disgusting. That's awful.
Skin that can hold on to water like that is very important. Elephants can get hot, very hot. They have the highest ratio of volume to surface area of any land animal. Too much body and not enough skin surface to cool off.
Right.
They don't have sweat glands except for a couple between their toes. Those aren't going to do shit. So they have some other tricks. For one, they have these little hairs all over their body, not like a luxurious mane. More like the smattering follicular landscape of a testicle. One question, though, is why do they have hair at all? Doesn't hair make you warmer? Now, you might think that it's just evolutionary leftovers, sort of a slowly balding woolly mammoth. But it turns out that when hair density drops below a certain threshold, having hair switches from something that keeps you warm to something that helps you cool off.
Interesting.
And it appears that that's what's happening. The hairs themselves help get rid of heat. Their giant ears also act as heat exchangers. Waving them around cools down the blood that runs through them. I know what you're thinking, Naughty Bits. Those veins there remind me of the veins in a human testicle.
That is not what we was thinking. Nobody thought that. Him and Oluwulo have the horniest content in the worst way. What is wrong with these people? And why does the internet attract? Well, you know, where else would they have this conversation? The office?
I was like, oh, the veins in a leaf.
Yes.
That's what it made me think of. And he was like, balls.
That was like a bodybuilder's forearms.
Also,
you know?
if we're talking about veins, obviously they would more resemble the veins in a penis. Like,
we're moving on. You're cut off.
I'm just saying.
Which also shed heat to keep sperm from overheating. Elephant testicles are inside the body, in basically the hottest place. There's something called the hot testicle hypothesis. It's a big band name. It says that elephants might...
Hot testicle hypothesis would be a sick name. HTH? That shit would be hard, actually.
...not get cancer because they've evolved extra proteins that are constantly protecting and repairing heat-damaged sperm. Anyway, I digress. Wait, is this one flipping us off? We're totally getting flipped off by an elephant trunk right about now. But let me tell you, those trunks are quite something. Segue. You know, in the womb, they actually have an upper lip that's separate from their nose. But those fuse together to form the trunk. Here, try pushing your upper lip forward while flaring your nostrils.
Are you doing it? I fucking knew you would.
Hold that, right? Well, nothing to do with an elephant, but you look like an idiot.
I was ready. I'm fully committed.
The trunk is made up of connective tissue, a tiny bit of fat, and tens of thousands of muscles that go the long way, the short way, and roundsy-bouncy. Much like the tongue, the trunk contains no bones and no cartilage, but by coordinating those muscles, it can do all sorts of things. It's quite strong, especially nearer up to the top. You can see one working out here. Must be a warm-up set because they can lift up to 700 pounds, which is the equivalent of 701-pound weights. For those of you who are into the gym things, the trunk is also quite stretchy. The skin and connective tissue on the top surface of the trunk is stretchier than the bottom, while the bottom is stiffer, stronger, and more grabby-grabby. The trunk is lined with special sensory hairs called vibrissae. On the bottom of the trunk, they form rows on either side. The science hippies think that this helps them balance things in the curl of their trunk.
The science hippies. You can't mix information and insults. That was a cool fact.
This watermelon. But the tip has the most hairs and is the most sensitive, as tips are wont to be. Depending on the species, the trunk ends in one or two things that basically act like fingers.
Probably like
and I'm sure that science hippies attempted to fake this research with hand puppets. The combination of a flexible trunk and these fingerlings means that they can pick things up in all sorts of ways.
Like, do you see how many different configurations of food he can pick up?
Trunks are gross.
No snack is safe. If you just describe picking up things and the kind of snacks you can pick up, that's how we figure out how flexible
on their shape and how big they are. And those finger parts are capable of some very fine movements.
Bananas.
Look at this one peeling a banana. Not exactly how I do it. It gets the job done. And look at this one, delicately picking up a tortilla without breaking it. Now, the trunk isn't a hollow tube. Those two nostrils run down the length of it. And that means it can get sucky-sucky, which provides yet another option for picking things up. But
that was, you see how it flapped closed like this?
But can also function a bit like a straw. Not an all-the-way straw, though. It is a nose, after all. And you know what it feels like to get a nose full of water all the way back. So when it sucks, it doesn't suck all the way. It holds whatever is sucking.
Right.
And then it can squirt it back out into an appropriate orifice. Or wherever the it wants, really.
That's cool. Imagine just being able to spray people whenever you want. Don't be 30, you horny bastard.
Elephants eat sticks and leaves and other crap a sensible person might rake up and throw in the green bin for pickup. Now, if you've tried, you'd know that it's not all that easy to eat.
What is a green bin?
It's a very European thing.
We got black bins, we got blue bins.
Pick was the appetizer, but they have some good equipment. African elephants and male Asian elephants have tusks, which are their incisors. Female Asian elephants will often have little tiny incisors sticking out, called tushes. It's called a tush. Tusks and tushes don't help with the chewing, but they can scrape some bark off now and then. The business end of the mouth is in the back. Elephants have some big-ass molars back there, about the size of a brick. This is one, even though it looks like several. They chew all that woody crap front to back, not side to side like we do. And those teeth wear down. Luckily, they have 6 sets throughout their lifetime. When a new molar comes in, it doesn't come from below. It comes from behind. The old worn-down tooth is pushed forward, and then it breaks off in segments while the roots are reabsorbed. Once the last set of teeth comes in, that's it. Those eventually wear down, and if the elephant lives long enough, it'll die. Makes sense, doesn't it?
Oh my God.
Anyway, they chew everything up into a pulp, and then that pulp gets fermented inside of their body. That creates gas.
We really should have seen that coming, and he told us it was going to happen. I'm still surprised.
But he didn't give us enough time.
Are you ready for the poop?
between.
Because it's coming.
I don't want poop.
Process only extracts about 20% of what went in the other side. The resulting dung still has some nutritional value. It's a pre-digested morsel for whoever wants another go at it. And many do, including other elephants.
It's like shit lettuce. It's like shit lettuce.
Look at the butterflies.
Poop butterflies.
And butterflies are so cute. They eat poop.
When I tell people to come to the farm, I always pointed out the poop butterflies. Every time, because they'll land on you and shit.
Yeah.
If you put your arms up, I'm like, those are poop butterflies. So just know, there's a lot of shit out here. You go 16 feet left, you're going to see no butterflies. There's no poop over here.
Ones that don't have the patience to wait for it to drop.
Wow.
So they get after it, so to speak.
Wow.
I mean, we blurred it, but imagine a snake trying to escape into an elephant's butt, Jerry. You only did half the analogy. That doesn't help. The snake has to go into something different, like no, not a different animal's butt, Jerry. You're really not getting it. Butt trunks are also used to communicate. They can be noisy little bastards and make all sorts of sounds. There's the classic trumpeting sound, which sounds a bit more like a lion trapped in a tuba.
That's dope.
They can drop that down low, and it sounds like a giant horse that's not impressed. By pinching the front end together, they can go up high. Sounds like demons. Likely because they're making 2 pitches at once, one from each nostril. And if they pinch it real hard, it can sound like the squeak fart of a birthday balloon. Now, if they squeeze further back and inflate the trunk near the head, they can make a sound like a coffee machine that just ran out of water. There's this sound, which is very impolite. We won't speak of it again. Sometimes they push air into the sinus cavities in front of their face and make these strange inside throbbing sounds. Whoa. And at least one elephant has figured out that if it modifies the shape of its mouth while making sounds with its trunk, it can mimic the vowel sounds of human words.
What?
This one's saying chowa, or good in Korean. Whoa. Not bad, is it?
Now, crazy. All this is... That's crazy. All right, let me pinch different parts of your nose.
Stop it.
And then make noise.
I am not an elephant.
You're a cute little elephant. Come
Go
here.
away.
Elephantus.
Get away.
Come on, let's
from
do
me.
it.
No.
I want to do the bottom of your nose and the top of your nose.
No.
Come on, let's do it.
Get away from me.
Pinch
Get
your
off
nose.
me.
It's well and good if you live in groups like females do. But if you're a male, you might be alone and miles away from other elephants. For that, they got a whole nother system, and it starts with their feet.
God,
Elephants
yeah.
stand tippy-toe, with the back of the foot supported by a high heel of fat. Their toe area and their heel area have nerves in them that are particularly sensitive to touch.
It's very weird that there's still a foot in there. You know, like it's just shaped different on the bottom.
Both of these features help the elephant feel and listen to vibrations in the ground. Look, this one's listening to see if something's afoot. By stomping their feet or making low rumbles, elephants can create seismic waves that travel for miles through the ground.
Man,
which is
elephant.
apparently louder than a man having a tantrum. When they reach another elephant, those waves travel up through the fat and through the bones of the elephant and up to its ears. The bones inside of the elephant's ear are especially large and tuned for these low-frequency vibrations. In this way, elephants can not only hear other elephants miles away, but they can figure out the direction too. Sometimes a group of elephants will even arrange themselves like a compass to better figure out where the sound is coming from.
Wow.
Pretty smart, right?
That's cool.
Well, elephants are smart, at least according to them. They're also narcissists.
Wait a minute. That means your directional thing might be an ear problem.
I don't have a problem.
Yeah, you got tiny ears. That's what the problem is. Or maybe your ears are regular, but the bones are tiny. You got little tiny bones in your ears, and that's why you can't tell which way is up.
I can tell which way is up.
Yeah?
I can tell which way
All
is
the
up
time?
and which way is down.
Uh-huh. What
And
about
I-
slightly up to the left?
I know the difference between left and right.
Right, but constantly.
But
I play Diablo with you. I know you don't know. I mean, let's just get it out the way. We have at least 50 hours in at this point. I'm convinced.
we're not having the Diablo discussion again.
I'm not having it here.
If it's going towards the top of the screen,
Uh-huh.
that's north.
Okay. And what about left and right?
East, no. East and west.
You're just joking. You're definitely just playing along.
No, I'm
There's
not.
no way you got it wrong the first time on accident. We're moving on, just proving my point. Okay, also, can you tell me by my vibrations when I walk around? Can you be like, my husband's coming based on the sounds that I make?
I mean, I would generally assume it's you because no one else lives in our house. But
That's a great assumption. Never mind.
Big brains. Look at that one. It's dead. They have roughly
It's
3
dead.
times the neurons of a human brain, but they only have 1/3 of the neurons that we have in the thinky parts.
Oh.
But you get what you get, and they do seem to know how to use what they have. I mean, look at this. They can move objects and use them to reach high up food. If you put one in front of a mirror, it gets all into it. But the science hippies wanted to test if the elephant knew that it was looking at itself. So they painted an X on its face. And look at that. The elephant touched it. It knows what's up, and it was totally checking itself out in the mirror. They seem to be aware of their own bodies. If you ask them to give you a handle that's attached to a mat that they're standing on, they understand that they have to move off of it
That's
first.
really
And they can do
impressive.
teamwork, too. You give them a 2-pulley situation where you can't go it alone, and they wait for another elephant to help out. Here's a variation on that, where there's still 2 pulleys, but just 1 basket of food. Look at that. The big one takes it all for himself. What a dick. At this point, you're just f***ing with elephants. One of the areas where elephants have a lot more neurons than humans is in the part of the brain that deals with smelling. They're very good at
Smelling
it, and
part.
they can remember smells for a very long time. Here's an elephant casually walking by a pile of crap from an elephant she doesn't know. Gives it a sniff, as is the custom, and moves on.
All
Now,
right.
here's the same basic setup, but the turd is from her daughter, who she hasn't seen in 12 years.
Wow.
Now, when she takes that whiff, she gets all excited.
That's so cool.
Goes back to check it out, ears flapping. It's like recognizing the perfume of your first crush.
That is
They
cute.
worship it. You can do this experiment, by the way, and you don't need 12 years.
I don't-
Just go to Grandma's,
I
take a
don't-
shit in the
I
living
don't-
room, and hide in the closet.
I don't think
You
I
know
wanna
she
do
loves
that.
you if she's happy to find it. Anyway, the daughter and mother were reunited, by the
Okay.
way. Be
Okay.
pretty messed up if they didn't do that.
I saw
I
like an
was
elephant.
so stressed.
I saw something flapping behind the trees. I was convinced it was that same scenario where the guy like has his son at the karate tournament and surprises him after he wins, kind of a
Yeah.
thing. Like this is elephant equivalent.
I was so
I was convinced.
stressed. I was like, if they did this and
Yeah.
then didn't let her meet her daughter again, I was literally on the verge of tears. Like I was gonna cry.
You know, ZeFrank is either way. He's either like they're gonna get reunited or she's been dead, like she died shortly after. You know.
Starting at around 20 or 30 years, male elephants will sometimes go into something called must. Their hormones go crazy and they get all horny and aggressive. Sort of like intense puberty, but it gets very leaky.
Yeah, ooh,
like they're peeing, for example.
Yeah.
Normally, elephants pee like this. Very straightforward,
Thanks.
to the point peeing. But in musk, they often don't drop their penis all the way and it comes out in a dribble. And look at that, he's thwapping it with his tail.
So he's just
it all helps to
incontinent?
spread the scent of this
Thwapping
sexy time urine. And if that wasn't enough, they start leaking out of these temporal glands on the side of their head.
That's crazy.
That stuff stinks too, and they waft it around by flapping their
That's
ears.
crazy.
These smells actually have information about how fit and strong the male elephant is. Now, females might use this to judge the quality of a potential mate, but other males use it to figure out who's most likely
You little
stronger and would
bitch.
win in a fight. That way, you can ideally avoid the fight altogether. One issue here is that females are... Jerry, why is this one kicking his penis? Is it part of must? What if it's not? Don't show it. It'll give people ideas. Well, it could become one of those TikTok challenges, and then everyone's kicking their dicks, Jerry. You want that? All right, let's move on. One issue here is that females are only down for it in short windows of time, and males and females don't live in the same herds. So it's always a booty call, literally.
That's
Both females
great.
and males have a hookup rumble that can travel for miles. Here you can see science hippies playing a female estrus call and a
That's
confused
fucked
male
up.
trying to figure out where it's coming from. Apparently that's what you do with a PhD, catfish an elephant.
Right.
Now, when they do find each other, it's all over fairly quickly. A lot of build-up and stinky urine for about 45 seconds of payoff. And it's a bit of a clumsy affair, not really built for the Kama Sutra. But it is cute that the male rests his trunk on the female. And sometimes, like in this shot, if the female is inexperienced or the male is particularly large, other females will gather around
Get
to
the
give a bit of
fuck outta
support
here.
and comfort.
No
It's very
way.
sweet.
You are
Do it,
shitting
Ethel.
me.
You're doing great.
You are
And
not.
soon enough, a new little
You're
elephant baby will
kidding.
be born.
The whole elephant group. Yeah! Get it on! We knew you could do it! Now you're going to be pregnant for 2 years after 45 seconds. If you can relate, ladies, say hey-oh. All right, let's get into it.
Get into what?
Let's go!
We-
Woo!
we just
Sex!
We just
All
watched
right.
like a minute of elephant porn. I'm feeling a little uncomfortable right
Well,
now.
it's just about the cheering. That's the part that's got me cracking up. The fact that they gather around is just fucking comedy. Dude, this was a very informational video about elephants. The trunk part was my absolute favorite. I
Yeah.
actually loved hearing about it, you know, about all the different muscles and how they have to coordinate it and stuff.
Right.
And then elephant teamwork is always like top tier content.
I liked hearing about how aware they are, like of themselves and like
Oh,
their own
yeah,
bodies and
watching
stuff.
themselves in the mirror and stuff.
Also, I was very happy that the mom elephant got reunited with the daughter elephant.
This is a very satisfying video. Very little poop content. When we did the hippos, it was
Oh,
like
yeah, there
such
was
a
a lot.
long, uncomfortable portion.
There was a lot of poop.
It made me unhappy, but I feel happy in this one. So we're gonna join my wife for a Casual Geographic video.
Yep.
And that's it, I think. I think we're about done. So we'll see you guys around. And if you see us around, you let us know that you saw us by commenting. You can do that by liking a video.
Unlike Doja Cat, we love you.
Why are we dunking on Doja Cat?
Oh yeah, she told her friends, like, they were like, can you tell us that you love us? And she was like, I don't even know y'all.
All right, now do the nose thing.
No!
Come on, I want to see you do it.
Goodbye, everybody.
Come on, pinch